Hey, yo, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully, you're able to hear me. All right. Hopefully, you're able to hear me and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we are here for the May 14th, 2025 episode of the Boxing Source Midweek Report. Yeah, that's right. We are here with the midweek report, and man, oh man, we got a lot, and I say a lot of stuff to talk about here on this edition of the midweek report. Shout out to Gold member there in the building there. I think I missed one of your questions there from yesterday during the episode of Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields. No, they aren't related. You know what I mean? So it's it. Uh, I got my guy. Don't worry. He's eventually going to be here. He's eventually going to be here. So, oh my God, you gotta come here today. We can report for that. Come on, man. Come on. All right. So we got a lot of stuff here that we're going to be talking about here in this version of the midweek report. Got a number of topics that we're going to go through here. Got about 10 of them. Should be about 10 of them here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go through each of them, try to get through them as quickly as possible, and hopefully one person that has been requested will eventually be on here. Okay, you know what I mean? So you do have that, right? So first off, here I'm gonna see if I can cue this up. You feel me? Here we go. Pretty much like have it as a set of questions. Actually, it's gonna be 9 questions here. Looks like here. So we're gonna go through about 9 questions here for 9 different topics that we got coming up. All right. So here we go. Of course, the lead one here as the first question on the docket there, and that is: will Emmanuel Dapidram Pacquiao really face Mario Barrios in July? Well, I mean, we've had multiple reports. We talked about it on the Boxing Source YouTube channel multitude of times. It's just when they're going to go ahead and formally announce a thing, because you already got the, what as they say, the giveaway when you put Emmanuel Dapidram Pacquiao at number 5 in the WBC rankings. I'm sorry, that pretty much like gives it up. That gives it up, man. Like, we ain't seen Manny Pacquiao in the boxing ring for a formal sanctioned boxing match since 2021. Okay, against Yordenis Ugas, where he lost by decision to Yordenis Ugas. Okay, now fast forward. Now there have been rumors about this, for at least a few months, at the minimum a few months. Okay, I had posted something on the Boxing Source website there, theboxingsource.net, in reference to the rumor mill about Emmanuel Dapidram Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao, and it was kind of like brought up as a potential bout between Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, but there was also somebody else that could have been interested as well. But that's a whole nother story. Now, fast forward to right here, right now, and you're gonna have here next month, right? The International Boxing Hall of Fame. And in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, there will be a set of inductees there for the 2025 class. And yes, that includes Manny Pacquiao, right? And with that being said, you know what? You're going to see on Sunday, June 8th, pretty much scheduled for Sunday, June 8th, at Canelo, New York, Manny Pacquiao be inducted to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And the reports are July 19th, Las Vegas, Nevada, that Manny Pacquiao will be fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight championship. And hold up. Before I continue this, shout out to Brick Squad. Can we get 10 minutes on Gary Russell's Hall of Fame case? Hey man, I don't necessarily have time. I don't have time. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. You got me on that. You got me. And yeah. Also, wasn't Mario's Pac-Man getting reported like a year and a half ago? Maybe I don't know if it was that far back. Maybe it was about a year ago, but there had been multitude of potential matchups for Manny Pacquiao. There was Ryan Garcia as a potential opponent. There was I think it was Conor McGregor maybe, but I know the thing referenced to Ryan Garcia. That was definitely one that was buzzed there for Manny Pacquiao. But the thing with Mario Barrios, until he was able to become the full-fledged WBC welterweight champion, that it didn't necessarily come to up to the forefront of stuff. You know what I mean? But with him being a full WBC champion, that's when it kind of like was brought up. And now it just makes Mario Barrios be like one of those high earners there within the welterweight division. He's had a number of high profile fights. Had his fight against Tank Davis at 140 pounds. Had his fight against Keith Thurman. And now he's in this particular position. His previous fight there that he had against Abel Ramos, he was able to garner $3 million, being part of that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson card at AT&T Stadium, right? So, with that being said, you get $3 million for Abel Ramos. You could pretty much kind of like gauge what kind of numbers that he could get for a bout against Manny Pacquiao. There, that would be around July 19th or whatever it is, right? So with that being said, it kind of shapes up to be one of these good cards that they're planning, because it's not only the thing there with Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios, but it's also Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu. Of course, that rematch has been basically, kind of penciled in by some to be on that fight card. That includes one of the promoters for one of the fighters there. As I got word from one of the promoters of one of the fighters. I mean, there's only two fighters, so you can pretty much guess who it is, of course, because ain't no way I'll be able to get some contact information from for anybody in Australia. So y'all know who it is, all right? So with that being said, this is shaping to be a pretty big event. And for those that may have the opportunity to attend the International Boxing Hall of Fame weekend, you'll be able to catch Manny Pacquiao there. They'll have the banquet, they'll have the parade there in Canastota, and they'll have the actual induction ceremony. It's a good experience to be out there in Canastota, New York. But you don't want to be driving there too much at night. I mean, I know we got the whole thing with the Google Maps and the GPS and all that type of stuff. But listen, man, them roads, man, they don't be having barely any lights in them joints, man. I'm telling you. All right. So that's the thing there in reference to that one. All right. Now, see if we can get to number 2. I'm going to see if we can cue this up here real quick. This is part of the thing here for the banner. Will the WBO strip Teofimo Lopez? This one is a good question. This one, has been raised here over the past week and a half. We know about Teofimo Lopez's comments over the course of the past year plus. And then of course you have what happened here recently with the video of him and his father and Teofimo Lopez saying what he said. And that had, really caused a big stir there within the boxing ranks. You had boxing fans that's been, basically up in arms, calling out Teofimo Lopez, calling out the World Boxing Organization. You know what I mean? And seeing what they would potentially do there to Teofimo Lopez as he is the WBO super lightweight champion. Well, earlier today, I had the great opportunity to speak with the WBO president, Gustavo Olivieri. All right. And with that, of course, I had a set of questions there for him. And that did include, the inquiry in reference to Teofimo Lopez. So hopefully this will be able to properly play. Here, I got this thing queued up. You know what I'm saying? I had it uploaded. So let me see here if we could go ahead and play this segment right here. All right, here we go. Now, want to go into this topic here real quick in reference to one world champion in Teofimo Lopez. He's been the WBO lightweight champion, and it's a current WBO super lightweight champion, but it's currently under fire there for his inactive, over the course of time there. Now, what have you discussed with the championship committee about his actions? And I've heard from, of course, Paco Barcel. You did share his quotes about it. But has the championship committee met about this particular situation?
Yeah, I tweeted something about not tolerating racism under no circumstances. I think the last sentence was the hell with racism, right?
Right.
We have a zero tolerance policy as to racism, regardless of color, race, religion, economic situation, or personal circumstance, political beliefs, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. I've been getting a lot of heat as to taking affirmative action to Teofimo. Based on reports that allegedly the WBO would strip Teofimo, his managers called me, and I basically said, "Hey, man, you guys either convey a definitive and affirmative message to Teofimo to stop his antics, avoid making reprehensible remarks, regardless against who, or any other similar antics or conducts that are detrimental to the sport, his reputation, and our credibility, or in contravention to our rules, we will certainly act." It's my tweet basically sends a last message, not only to Teo, but also to any other fighters or managers, promoters, whoever that are associated with the WBO in some shape or form, directly or indirectly. So the message was conveyed. The people, the fans, or the general public, or the media, they want, as I've seen in social media per my tweet, which I'm still getting tagged every minute, they want me to chop his head off, strip him. But remember, I'm a licensed attorney. I got to do everything by the book. There's fighters under our jurisdictions must be guaranteed due process. So he has been admonished, right? We have been in constant communication with his team, with his father, and through the kid, through third parties as well, as to, hey, man, we're gonna be very vigilant, mm-hmm. And if this happens again, I'm not gonna, my pulse, it's not gonna, we have a saying here, it's not, my pulse is not gonna shake. I'm just gonna take affirmative action and proceed accordingly,
Right. Now, like you said,
and another thing, we have to consider the totality of the circumstances, the context of the video, the remarks, the totality of the footage. I cannot act on hearsay or an extraction of the footage, or I need to have reliable proof. In this day and age, with artificial intelligence, with modifications of any type of video, audio, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I got to be very careful with my decision-making process. What I did was I did speak to his manager, Keith Connolly, Mike Bodal, also to his promoter. We have been in contact with his parents as well. We're not going to tolerate any antics, not only for Teo, but also for other fighters as well.
Right.
So he's been duly warned, and one and done.
Right. Gotcha. Glad that you said it that way, because as you have mentioned here multiple times, being a licensed attorney, that's how you got to go about this particular process. You have to make sure everything is in a row, and that you have all of the information that is required before you could make a full-fledged decision on that particular matter. That's on one side. And then you also have the thing there as, with him, being a world champion, he in a way is a representative of the World Boxing Organization being
Yeah,
a world champion. So whether it's him or it's like another world champion, like say a Brian Norman Jr. or a
yeah,
Canelo Alvarez, all of them have to uphold a standard that reflects the World Boxing Organization being their champion.
correct.
So
Not only that, man, they have to conduct themselves like professionals. Remember, the fighters are not bigger than the sport.
mhm,
You know,
yep.
but that's my position. People wanted me to strip him. And when you make a decision of that nature, which is the ultimate ruling or relief,
Mhm.
that has legal consequences. If my decision making process is not done correctly and in accordance with my rules and the law, I may be subject to liability. So rest assured, to the fans, to the followers, to the media, general public, we're going to be very vigilant and we're going to do everything by the book.
So there you go. That is the WBO president there, Gustavo Olivieri, in reference to the the kind of like the decision of sorts here, at least for this particular period with Teofimo Lopez. But before I continue on with that, I will have a great guest here on with us, of course, the leader of Brunch Boxing, the guy that is been, all over the place when it comes to the sport of boxing, and is the man of the Rumor Report himself, Mr. Matt of Brunch Boxing. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, JBZ, man? How's everything going tonight, man? I didn't get to catch. I tuned in when Gustavo, you was playing the clip. What exactly did he say about stripping T.O.?
That he's gonna, go through the proper process in reference to that, because he has to, keep in contact with not only Teofimo Lopez but his manager Keith Conley, the promoter there, Teofimo Lopez, of course, there with Top Rank, and third parties in reference to getting all the information that has been brought up to him in reference to Teofimo Lopez and his actions. And I kind of like told him, I was like, yeah, you got to be able to get all that, ducks in a row, and also properly assess Teofimo Lopez, because as a WBO super lightweight champion, one way or another, he represents the World Boxing Organization. So you wouldn't necessarily want someone like him kind of like having these things that are going on and to continue to be the WBO champion. But with that being said, Gustavo Olivieri also made a series of posts on X in reference to this, and that he doesn't tolerate this in any form from anybody that is fighting or a promoter or anything like that. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, I mean, I have it there as a piece here on YouTube. I will think about posting the whole interview here either on YouTube or on the Rumble channel. I still gotta piece a few things up there. So that's pretty much what I have there on that.
Interesting, very, very interesting. What else is on the agenda today?
All right, so well, the first joint was I had the thing there beforehand. Well, I was talking about Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios for July. We got this thing here. It looks like it's all but set up. They ain't really formally announced it yet. July 19th, Las Vegas. You're out there. Manny Pacquiao, 2025 International Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. They will be fighting Mario Barrios here. And also talked about the thing there for the rematch between Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu as well. So that's part of
it. Listen. So salute to Fundora and Tszyu. Great fight, first fight. Gonna be a good one. God damn it, Manny Pacquiao is back. This is a big fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, big event. I'm all in. Like I see people complaining about it too. People are stupid, man. People don't like fun. People don't like big events. I realize people on earth, man. This is a huge event, and I cannot wait.
Oh man, it is definitely going to be a big event. Definitely going to be a big event. Looking forward to it. It looks like it'll be at MGM Grand Garden Arena. for that is, like I said, I mean, that arena is not that bad at all. I don't think that there's a bad seat in the house at MGM Grand Garden Arena. Hopefully they have a couple more, events, or I mean, a couple more fights there for that particular card that's, on slate here, as we're, almost 2 months away, from that particular date. So, like I said, real soon we'll be able to get, more information on that there. So that's what I had on that front. And then, also the thing here with the WBO president Gustavo Olivieri there. So, shout out to, of course, Matt here from Brunch Boxing, because we was able to work some things, and then I was able to set up this conversation there. So, like I mentioned before, I'll work on getting the entire interview up here, either through YouTube or through the Rumble channel, because I'm really been slacking on the Rumble channel. Really been slacking. You feel me? So that's the thing there with the first two. Next one up here. All right, for number 3. All right, the Canelo-Crawford fight is now scheduled for September 13th. Will it be in Las Vegas? So it originally been put out there that they're going to move the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford from September 12th to September 13th. But with that being said, that whole thing about Allegiant Stadium, not when you have UNLV facing Idaho State on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. And as of probably 7 to 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to see if the Las Vegas Raiders are going to have a home game on that following day or whatever. You know what I mean? So as far as like Las Vegas, I don't know. Maybe they'll have it over at T-Mobile Arena. As of right now, that particular weekend is open from what I've seen in the schedule. So maybe that is possible there. Anything from you, Matt, in reference to this one?
Did you read the Boxing Scene article regarding this announcement from Mike Coppinger that it's moving to the 13th?
Okay, let me see. No, I did not. Let me see. They got this thing here featured. Hold on.
Yeah, from Lance Pugmire.
Yeah. Oh, no. Very interesting. Wait a minute. All right, here we go. All right, shout out to Lance Pugmire here. But before I get to this article, I want to bring in another one of our great guests, one of our great panelists here, part of the Boxing Source channel here. Of course, my guy, the Boxing Academic is here in the building, man. What's going on, Boxing Academic?
Not much. How you fellas doing?
Oh, we're doing good, man. Doing good. Just trying to go through the rundown here.
Wow. It is great. It is great to hear from one of the brightest minds in all of boxing, the Boxing Academic. Welcome to the Boxing Source.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I got to come back to your show to get that introduction, so the world can hear it. Yeah, I heard y'all talking about Manny Pacquiao, so I think I had some thoughts on that, but I'll wait till I know y'all.
Share those real quick before I pull up this article here from Boxing Scene.
My only thing is that, did y'all see Manny's last fight with that tall Asian kid?
Ampo. Yeah, you talking
Ampo.
about Ampo.
Manny got like 2 and 3 pieces thrown on him. Manny was
So here's the thing about that fight, right? This guy Ampo is a fucking clown. Okay, this fight was supposed to be an exhibition. Manny didn't even train. He didn't even get in shape for this fight, and then this guy showed up trying to embarrass Manny Pacquiao and make his bones off of Manny Pacquiao. That was some real cowardly shit that he did. Okay, so fuck Ampo.
So you're saying he did a bait and switch where Pacquiao thought it was just cool. I could see that. I could very well see that. So the real question is, can Manny Pacquiao still pull the trigger, or has Father Time, his father is Father Time undefeated and undefeated right now for Manny Pacquiao?
Well, I think if Manny Pacquiao can pull the trigger, Mario Barrios is going to give him every opportunity to, because it's not like Mario Barrios is some defensive wizard, So the openings, the opportunities will be there for Manny Pacquiao.
That's a great point, Matt. That is a great point.
It is something because, as I mentioned before, a number of people were seeing this potentially happening there with Manny Pacquiao if he was going to return to the ring. And of all the fighters that were available, all of the world champions that were available at the time, we chose Mario Barrios. So, it kind of like says, maybe, they think something about Mario Barrios. But I've also heard of somewhat of a rumor in reference to Manny Pacquiao.
Something about the water and whatever he said about his excuse last time. What was that excuse? I'm trying to remember. The water did something to him.
No, nothing.
Y'all remember that excuse?
Yeah, the whole thing with the shoulder too. Yeah, that's not the rumor.
Okay, sorry.
Rumor is that regardless of the result, I think, particularly if he does win, that may not be his last fight. So, that's going to be something. That's that's why I'm really looking forward to July 19th, because if he ends up winning,
hey, listen. You know that Mario Barrios is my guy, right? But we need Manny Pacquiao to win. We need Manny Pacquiao to win. Okay, listen. No offense, Mario Barrios, but I need Pacquiao versus Tank, or I need Pacquiao versus Rolly. So Mario Barrios, I need you to do the job. Put him over. Put the old man over.
So,
Matt, I know what you're, that you're trying to bring up, but the rumor actually has a little bit more to it, and it could be even bigger than two of those fights that you potentially mentioned. Go ahead there, Mike.
So I was gonna say, didn't Manny Pacquiao run for presidency and then he didn't make it or something? I'm sure. Say it again.
He ran.
You going out, man?
Yeah, you're going out.
Wait. Hold on.
Repeat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me better now? Yeah.
Yeah. Repeat everything you said. Repeat everything.
What I said was he ran for Senate in the Philippines. The top 12 gets elected, and he finished number 18. So he did not get elected.
Okay, so my point still going to be made. The point I was trying to lead to. It takes money to run a campaign. So of course, Manny Pacquiao going to fight 1, 2, 3 more times.
I don't know, man. This one looks like to, generate some good amount of money. And, I was mentioning there with Mario Barrios in his fight against Abel Ramos that he had a purse of $3 million. So you can imagine how much this purse would be here for this bout against Manny Pacquiao. So there's that, right? All right. So let's see here. We got brother Lance Pugmire, a boxing scene that is talking about Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. So we're gonna go through that here through boxing scene. Hold up, all right. We got this thing queued up. All right, yeah, bet. All right. So the title is not official or whatever it is, or not buying talk of new date for Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. All right, here we go. And this is posted yesterday by Lance Pugmire. Here we go. A report from Turkey Hollow 6 Ring Magazine stating that the Saudi boxing financier is moving his Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight from September 12th in Las Vegas to September 13th at one of 5 possible locations is being painted as a second misdirection campaign. An industry insider told Boxing Scene on Tuesday. Okay. Following a Ring report in February stating that Alvarez was interested in fighting Jake Paul, only for Alvarez to turn to then IBF super middleweight title holder William Skull for a bout in Saudi Arabia, right? Tuesday's report is said to be another turn towards gamesmanship. Boxing official who spoke to Boxing Scene said Alvarez Crawford streamer Netflix is set to report in the near future that the fight is staying right where it was originally announced Friday, September 12th at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. All right. Yeah, here we go. And then you see the whole thing there, Pacquiao versus Barrios. So I'm going to stop there, right there for now. Brother Matt has, he, like I said, I keep saying this here as we go along. We got to get Matt another phone, man. We got to get Matt another phone. You know what I mean? We got to get Matt another phone. Man, I see something here. It says Hope Crawford gets the mini fight and Tank is forced to fight secure and stop the duck. No, come on. No. Shakur, listen. Manny Crawford ain't getting no mini fight. Tank ain't getting no mini fight. None of those are getting a mini fight. None of them. Okay. And no, how would you do that? Okay. So there's that, right?
I mean, that doesn't make sense for Manny at this point. Manny trying to coast in a sense, and he really has deserved the right to coast. Like, he shouldn't be fighting like the guy who pieced him up. He shouldn't be fighting him and getting like super big paydays. But he shouldn't fight people that are super risky as well. I think he has more right to do that than Canelo.
Well, that's the thing about in reference to the whole rumor stuff. So, depending on what happens for this upcoming bout, July 19th, if Manny Pacquiao ends up winning, then it could be something even bigger. And no, it won't involve Tank Davis. No, it won't.
Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Rematch with Keith, one-time Thurman. Oh man, you paused like I was right.
No.
Why you waited so long? Why you waited so long and got my hopes up?
It had to, we had to bring a dramatic effect before, I had to just go ahead and,
All right, I'll be quiet.
All right, hey, man. Shout out to Jay Pylon there in the building, man. He says, hey, love Pacquiao, favorite boxer of all time. There, man. He said Shields and Pac-Man gonna bust Thurman up. He had to bring up Shields, man. Oh man. All right, here we go, man. I want to go ahead and bring back the whole thing here with the particular article. Hopefully, Matt can get back here with us. It says, while the news of the new date and location has been floated is unknown, except that promoters can engage in gamesmanship when competing with others over dates, particularly the prized Mexican Independence Day weekend that Canelo Alvarez has ruled for years. As of now, the only major bout that weekend is Inoue's defense of his, super bantamweight titles. I don't know why they say junior featherweight. Like, only the WBO kind of like does that. Shout out to Gustavo Olivieri, but only they do that. Against MJ Akhmadaliev in Tokyo on September 14th. Scheduling Alvarez versus unbeaten 4-division champion Crawford on a Friday in an NFL stadium has seemed odd from the outset after Turki Al-Sheikh took a financial bath when he staged his May 2nd Times Square card in front of a small group of VIPs, and then moving Mexico's popular Alvarez off his traditional Cinco de Mayo weekend Saturday in Las Vegas to fight before another paltry crowd in Saudi Arabia. For now, the fight is locked out of Saturday or Sunday at the Allegiant Stadium by a UNLV football game September 13th and the possibility that the Las Vegas Raiders will play a home game September 14th, which is what I mentioned here earlier, but I mentioned it from the get-go when they initially announced that particular fight and that it would be on Friday. I was like, wait a minute, why would they have it on a Friday in the Allegiant Stadium? Let me check FBschedules.com. Let's go to UNLV. Oh, they do have a home game against Idaho State on September 13th. So there you go. All right. If the fight were to take place on a Friday, Alvarez Crawford would start on a weeknight when those in the Pacific time zone are still getting home from work, further weakening the drawing power of that bout. Ooh, all right. Let's see. Matt back here in the mix. Yo.
What in the HE double hockey sticks is a financial bath?
Blood bath.
That means that bloodbath. They lost a lot of money.
Did it say bloodbath or did it just say bath?
It just said bath. Yeah.
He listen. Maybe he just said bath because he don't want to say bloodbath and associated with the Saudis. So maybe he was just trying to be nice.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah. So the bloom is already off the Canelo Rose after his fight in Saudi Arabia. How many are excited to watch this? Ask a veteran boxing insider talking separately from the other industry official. A veteran boxing insider. It ain't like we don't have that many out there. I would just be real. So I mean, some of y'all could pretty much guess who that could have been. All right. Both spoke on a condition of anonymity because of the existing business arrangements. Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God, yo, come on, man, yo, come on, yo.
Is it what's his name that always used to come on this show?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it better not be him. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. What is it? Hey, Jay said Canelo versus Crawford seems like some video game concept fight. I mean, for some it kind of did, but if we flash back years ago, what is it, about 2023 or about 2022, 2023, right? We had Canelo Alvarez in the midst of a deal with Premier Boxing Champions or Heyman Boxing, and it was going to be like a 3-fight deal. Conceptually, it was going to be Jamal Charlo and potentially a rematch with Jamal Charlo, and then after that, it could have been Errol Spence Jr. Okay, but with Terence Crawford winning that bout on July of 2023, that kind of nixed that whole thing there. So there was going to be some type of alternative. That didn't necessarily go through. So what ended up happening was you had the instance there with Jamal Charlo that couldn't make it. So it was Canelo Jamel. Then it was Canelo Munguia. And then it's Canelo Berlanga. So those were the 3 fights. But yeah. Berto says, thought Netflix had options on Jake Paul MVP. How is he doing the Chavez fight on DAZN? I have to contact some people within MVP on that. Let's see if I got some on that. Jay says, Netflix crashed trying to stream boxing. They need to get right and do some more. I don't know, man. It says also with Canelo, he's still the same fighter he was when he lost to Money Mayweather. Bivol followed the plan. Hey, I'm saying that Canelo in his last fight here against William School, he can't move. Looked like he couldn't move.
I was about to say he ain't that same fighter that fought Floyd. No way.
Yeah, he can't move. I mean, he properly used to cut off the ring against certain fighters and things like that. So he could, at least properly move. You know what I mean? To me, I think he's had significant steps down since I would say that fight against Jamel Charlo. I think he's basically had the same pattern since that Jamel Charlo fight where, okay, he could do some things up until a certain point or up into a certain round. That's why you see him knocking down the number of the opponents that he's had, his past few opponents there outside of William School. But then after that, pretty much be coasting the rest of the way. Against William School, you didn't see him really effectively cut off the ring. You didn't really see him, properly throw a series of punches. And he basically waited on William School to do something, and William School rarely did anything. You know what I mean? So now he has this upcoming thing here with Terence Crawford, and he's gonna be starting to get in the camp, out right around his birthday or something like that, around July or something. So now we got to see, okay, how is he going to prepare in this particular camp against Terence Crawford, who, of course, stays in shape, all the time. He's a gym rat, there, of course, like has a wrestling background too. So he's going to be definitely prepared for Canelo Alvarez. Now we got to see if Canelo is, ready for the same thing. You know what I mean? So we got that done.
This fight might mess around and look like Timothy Bradley versus Juan Manuel Marquez. It might look like that fight.
Yeah. Jay says Arizona Lara, where he went. He's a WBA champion at 160 pounds. We got to see what he's going to end up doing here pretty soon, because there's going to be a key bout within the WBA that's coming up here later on down the line. I think it's going to be May 31st there with Yoenli Hernandez and going up against Kyron Davis. That's part of that May 31st card in Las Vegas. So we do have that. All right. So that's the thing there real quick. All right. Matt, you there with us for reals? Because this is supposed to be your cue here, Matt. We got that's what we try to get you on for. So you got to see if you're able to get on.
I'm here. I'm here.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep getting kicked out. I don't know what's up with this. It is the StreamYard doesn't work with my connection for some reason. I don't know why.
Word. All right, I got you. All right, here we go with number 4. Here we go. So, will the rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. finally be announced? Well, Matt, seemed like you had something there that you posted here earlier today on X in reference to this particular matchup there. So, could you expound on that?
Yeah. So by all accounts, Lamont Roach versus Tank Davis Part 2 is going to be August 16th in Las Vegas, Nevada. TGB did put a hold on that date, and I did some back channeling, and I was able to confirm that is the working date for Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Part 2. Also, I've been told that they're building a banger of an undercard, with a lot of potential fights on there. One of the fights that they're hoping to have is a WBC title defense from Carlos Adames. The hope is that it's the unification with Janibek, but we don't know if that's going to happen. So it may end up being just a defense against Mirim Sartanov. Obviously, we know that Stephen Fulton versus O'Shaquie Foster is going to be on that card. So we got to look out for that. So that's another fight that they are looking at for that particular event.
And, I tried to make a couple phone calls here and there to see if there would be another fight that would be added on to the pay-per-view portion of the card. That could be another title defense on there involving a certain fighter from this area that was on the previous card for Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. But as of right now, couldn't necessarily confirm that. I have,
I don't think that's happening. Okay. So from what I could gather with that, PBC made a proposal to have that on July 19th, and Ohashi Promotions countered that proposal because they want to have it on the September 14th Inoue card in Japan. So they are exchanging proposals on it. It looks like the fight is going to get done. So that fight is either going to be July 19th or September 14th.
Gotcha. So there you go. Man, Gary Antoine Russell makes the trip to Japan, man. Oh, man, here we go. Hey, you better not say nothing about it either, Mac.
I was about to say he'll fit right in. The cartoon watching motherfucker. He'll fit right in with that shit.
Oh, come on.
He looked like he liked anime. He'll definitely fit in with that shit.
Oh, man. Crazy, man. Oh, man. Oh, geez, man. But, I mean, there you all go. I mean, we go on here for the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They have their schedules out there. So as of right now, they recently had this thing posted for the pro boxing event there for August 16th, T-Mobile Arena. TGB Promotions there is put in their request there for that particular date. So there you go on that. And Brother Matt has provided, those details in reference to that, and something that I've been trying to look forward to. Just saying, hey, okay, is it really, really, really for reals? So we'll see. I mean, maybe they got the word. I know that Lamont Rhodes Jr. Made a recent post on Instagram and put like something at the top there, in reference to a location that has a rematch on it. So get this. There you go, man. Shout out Nico there. It says can't wait for Take Roach 2. There Jay says that Roach beat Tank on his scorecard, and he talked about the thing there with Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and see if I'll go on there. You missed the thing here with the WBO case. There I played it earlier. I will see if I'll post it, on through public here on YouTube, and then the full interview either through YouTube or on Rumble here. So I'm gonna work on that after this is done. All right, so there we go. So that's the thing there for Tank and Lamont Jr. Now, number 5 here, I got it. Will Boots Ennis and Brian Norman Jr. fight by the end of the year? Okay. This stems from the recent news, of course, there with Brian Norman Jr., who is going to be facing Jin Saki there with the WBO welterweight title on the line over in Oda City in Japan. You have Boots Ennis, of course, unified champion there, IBF WBA. Has been looking to see if he could move closer to being the undisputed champion. But I talked about the whole situation there with Mario Barrios, and here with Brian Norman Jr. has his upcoming bout in June with Jin Sasaki. Now, I did have a conversation with the manager for Brian Norman Jr. and Adrian Clark. That was part of the Boxing Source podcast, and he said what he said in reference to that. So looks like we're gonna wait to see what happens after June 19th. And yes, we do had some comments from Brian Norman Sr. in reference to this, and so that's why a number of people are looking to June 19th to see what happens afterwards. Now, my guess, I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be a couple of things that is going to get in the way of that, and one of them is not dealing with the WBA. I don't think the WBA situation is going to really matter. I think that instance with the WBA mandatory, with him being Shakum Giasov being part of Matchroom Boxing, I think it's going to be another instance where he can get a step aside fee, like how Eldar Alvarez got a number of step aside fees for Adonis Stevenson holding the WBC light heavyweight title, and Boots Ennis will pursue bigger fights in that sense, and one of them could be a potential really, really big fight.
Well, here's what I don't understand about that, right? How can guys continuously be allowed to step aside if it's not a unification? If it's not a unification bout, you shouldn't be allowed to step aside. I don't give a shit. You forfeit your spot. Like, that's just the way it should be. It makes no sense. If Giasov don't want to fight for the fucking title, then get out the way. There are plenty of other guys within the WBA that would love to fight Boots Ennis. Namely, my guy, the king of 147, Rolando Rolly Romero.
Now that we're in the middle of the month. Okay, so that also is part of the thing there with the WBA, because they had pretty much placed the order. They said, hey, all right, we got this here with Boots Ennis as a unified champion, but he could go ahead and he could go and fight Shakum Giasov if they want to go, see if they can work a deal for that. In the meantime, we got this thing here with, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, and the winner of that will become the WBA regular champion. And those two fights, the winners of those two fights, they'll fight each other. Rolly Romero did this thing and got the WBA regular belt. Now, okay, here it is with Boots Ennis. So is he going to go after this thing here with this mandatory? Does he have something here with Rolly Romero, or will he go elsewhere? Matt, you know and I know. Boots don't want to fight neither one of them guys. I'm sorry. I don't think he's gonna end up fighting either one of those guys. And I say that he does have a little bit of a shelf life there at 147 pounds. I mean, he just
and his shelf life is right up until he fights Rolly Romero, because if he fights Rolly, we know what's going to happen, and it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
Oh no! See, no, we ain't doing this. Come on, man. We ain't doing this. We are not doing this.
Listen, Boots knows. That's why he don't want to fight Rolly. He knows. Double left hook, wop wop. They don't want no parts of Rolly, man. Rolly is good. I've been trying to tell y'all that, man. Ryan Garcia found it out. Boots gonna find it out next. Man. That's Rolly Mayweather.
Rolly who?
Hey. Listen, in the words of Leonard Ellaby, you heard me.
I was trying to give you a Mike Jones type of thing.
Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh, you see a Julio? Goddamn, boy! Oh my god, yo! All right. Let's see if I go to the next way here, man. My guy Jake Paul was talking about this. Can Jake Paul beat Julio Cesar Chavez as Jr.? Not Chavez, but even though Jake Paul was talking trash to both of them earlier today, this is for their upcoming bout here, June 28th. Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez, there with Chavez Jr. not having a bout since last July, when he was part of the Jake Paul's card there, when that was the originally scheduled date for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson there, but they pushed it back to November of last year. But we're talking a whole lot of stuff at the press conference here early today, and the whole joint is too, man. I'm not, I wasn't all too hot with who is it? Man, I forgot. Oh, Chris Mannix, right? As Chris Mannix was there, talking and having those questions, and one of them or a couple of them was like, well, Jake, if you had this win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., we got Zurdo Ramirez right over there. Would you like to, have a bout against Zurdo Ramirez for those belts? I'm like, come on, man. Like, it's Jake Paul, and I mean, he's been doing his thing, but we can't, like, I don't see him getting in there or getting in the mix with Zurdo Ramirez or even a KO Dr. Junior Dorjigos. Okay. You got to slow down with that a little bit. You got to have this fight here with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. first. And, Chavez Sr. says that his son has been in the gym or whatever it was and been in the gym working like never before. But, hey, remains to be seen. We got about 6 to 8 weeks or so before that bout to take place. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Matt, do you think that this particular bout is a big event?
Oh, listen. Anything Jake Paul does is a big event. All right. The fact that Jake Paul's involved is a big event, and now you got Junior Chavez makes it even bigger. The last time Junior Chavez was in a really big fight against Canelo Alvarez, they did 1 million pay-per-view buys. Okay. So there's no reason why I don't think that this fight can't at least match that when you got Jake Paul. Okay. Now, can he beat Junior Chavez is the question. I don't know. Because, listen, as shop worn as Junior Chavez is, he is still a former world champion, a real boxer. He's not old, so he has the requisite skill to really beat Jake Paul. So to me, this is a very, very interesting fight. To me, this is the best fight that Jake Paul has had so far in his boxing career.
Right, by far, on paper. You know what I mean? Shout out Alberto. He says Rolichenko. He says Rolly boxed beautifully and disciplined for 12 rounds. I mean, yeah, he did. You know, he was very disciplined in his performance against Ryan Garcia. But we're talking about Boots Ennis, man. Come on, bro.
All right. Listen, let Boots get off balance against Rolly. Whap. He going down. I'm telling you.
Oh man. Did I had usually check the odds there when it comes to these bouts, these upcoming bouts. So you know how I do sometimes look up the odds there for this particular fighter, this upcoming fight or whatnot. So let's see here if I could go ahead and find it and see what they say about this particular bout. Right.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna give my comment on this.
Go ahead.
Imagine you got a dude in high school and he like 6'7", and then you walk up to him and you ask him, let's say he's 6'9", and then you walk up to him and you ask him, hey man, do you play basketball? And he says, no, I don't play basketball, in a like a soft, feminine voice. Mm-hmm. That's how I see Chavez, where he got the genetics, but I don't know. It's something about Chavez that makes me think that Jake Paul could throw one shot, which is his reverse hand or his backhand, and that shot could land enough to keep Chavez honest enough to where he don't get to him. Mm-hmm. I think Jake Paul could actually win this fight by just throwing that one hand.
Well, right now, initially, they have on DraftKings the money line Jake Paul at minus 650. That's over a 6-1 favorite. And Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at plus 450.
Oh, crap. Oh, man, that's making me want to bet on Chavez. I might change my mind. I might say
88% of the bets on the money line for Jake Paul.
Yeah, I might change my mind. But what's the name of? I don't want to call him a fuck up, but he be fucking up. So that's the only thing I just don't trust him, because he will fuck some up.
Yeah. Particularly in like big moments or joints. I know that they were talking about, oh yeah, he went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez and all that type of stuff. But I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? But man, oh my goodness, it's even worse on FanDuel. Like they got Jake Paul at minus 1,000, 10-1, bro. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to have that much of a be that much of a favorite against a former world champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That shows that those books are saying they don't have much faith there in Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
If Jake Paul can beat Mike Tyson, he can beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
That's something. Yeah, that would be something right there. All right, let me see what we got here for the next joint. All right, this is for something coming up this weekend. Really, only had like a couple of fights that's out or and about here for next weekend. Here is will Michael Fox get the win over Sergey Boychuk this Saturday? You got Michael Fox they're getting in the mix with Sergey Boychuk there, who also had faced Virgil Ortiz Jr. last year. Was a pretty close bout there. Ended up losing by majority decision to Virgil Ortiz Jr. And then he turned around and fought Ismail Davis and cooked that dude. He pretty much cooked that dude. But now he's up against Michael Fox, who's getting this opportunity here. He had his campaign over in the 147-pound division. But while being under Jeter Promotions, he's had a couple of fights there under Jeter Promotions from last year, since his loss to Kavaliauskas in 2022. And so, he was looking for, what would be a good opportunity for him. Now he has one here against Sergey Boachuk, and he's, been, of course, working out in the gym here in this area, the DC area. And, he was saying that Boachuk may be, not quite there at 154. So this is basically being part of the catch weight, So that's going to be something there to, look forward to here for Michael Fox and him getting this win. If he could get this win, if it gets him in the mix there at 154 pounds. Shout out my guy Trill Clinton in the building there. And Junior better not lose to dude. I just still don't understand how FanDuel would have Jake Paul at minus 1,000. He's at minus 1,000 right now. That's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. So now just moving here, we got a couple more. As we got like another fight thing coming up. It's for over in San Diego. Now it's fight with Chris Cyborg and Clarissa Shields possible. No. Cyborg does have an upcoming bout here over in San Diego. She, will be facing Precious Harris McRae in, not San Diego, but San Jose. And it's gonna be a 6-round bout. Yeah, she'll be looking to try to go 5-0. Did have a conversation with Chris Cyborg a couple weeks back where I brought this up, and they said like the whole thing as far as like the weight wouldn't necessarily work out or anything like that. So that whole thing about them fighting in the square circle octagon, that ain't gonna happen there. So for Chris Cyborg, she's looking to go ahead and campaign around the division that she's going to be at, whether it's like 154, maybe 160, and she aspires to see if she can fight for a world title here in boxing, so that she'd be a world champion in MMA and a world champion in boxing there. But she does have this upcoming bout May 17th at the Texio Arena in San Jose, California, against Precious Harris McRae. And we'll see what she does from there at that point. So no, she's not going to be fighting the GWOAT there. And speaking of the GWOAT, she has a bout coming up herself where she is going to be defending her titles there against Lanny Daniels. That is going to be on July 26th at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. So there you go with that. All right. Last thing I got here is what we expect in the Stevenson Zepeda press conference tomorrow. That will be over in Times Square tomorrow. I'll be headed out there to attend that press conference. You will also have Edgar Berlanga there in Hamza Shiraz. So with Stevenson, he's going to be defending the WBC lightweight title against William Zepeda. Finally. Hopefully, I don't hear much about O'Shaquie Foster or Keyshawn Davis or Connor Benn or anything like that. But I'm certain that someone is going to raise some questions about both of those guys. I won't ask about Connor Benn, but maybe I'll ask about what I'm saying, O'Shaquie Foster. But outside of that, we'll see, what they're going to be talking about. They probably announced the full card that they'll have scheduled for July 12th. They did announce that, it's going to be out there by, the tennis arena in Queens or whatnot. So at least it's not going to be, as some kind of mentioned, that it would be in Central Park. Nope, it's not going to be around now. So you're going to see it in pretty much like in the tennis stadium. It's pretty good stadium, pretty good looking stadium it looks like, but we'll see how the logistics are for this particular event once the event happens on July 12th. And of course, July 11th, you're going to have that trilogy there with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano there July 11th at Madison Square Garden. So makes for a crazy weekend there for boxing on that. So that's what I had there on the on the slate, on the rundown, and everything like that. So that's what I got here for, at least so far here for the midweek report. Anything from y'all? Before I close this out.
But you're not familiar with that stadium that they're going to be doing that fight in?
Nah, because I ain't really been around the area for the U.S. Open and stuff.
Yeah,
and
the U.S. Open at. It's a very good stadium.
Okay, because I thought that they were going to have the press conference around that area, but they changed it to
no one's trying to go out there. Come on, man. No.
That's the thing, man. Yeah, man.
It's a chore to get to. Even by train, you got to take the fucking 7 train all the way out there to Citi Field.
It's
I think
40 minutes from Manhattan.
Yeah. Now I would like to see if the Mets have a game that night, because if the Mets have a game that night, you better stay far away from that stadium. I'm telling you right now, because that is going to be fucking hell to travel if the Mets have a home game that night. Because,
it'd be absolutely that would be absolutely nuts. Absolutely
because that's a Saturday, right? So so you guys better hope the Mets don't have a home game. I'll just leave it at that.
All right, so let me see here. It says July. Nope, they're at Kansas City that weekend.
Okay, good. That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect, because it's a very good location. I am a little surprised that they're having it inside Louis Armstrong instead of Arthur Ashe, because Louis Armstrong holds about 14,000, Arthur Ashe holds about 23,000, and it's all within the same complex. It's called the Billie Jean King complex. So I'm guessing they're not thinking it's going to do that well, but I'm not to try to go for the 23,000, which is pretty surprising, because you have the Puerto Ricans, you have the Mexicans, you have the Shakur fans, you have the Arab fans with Hamza Shiraz. People claim that he's popular, you know. So to me, that's a card that maybe you should try to see how much you can sell with that card.
Yeah, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Mexicans, all that. Yeah, all of that would be, out there. So I guess they just trying to see what they got. He said Shakur fit. Oh, come on, man. Y'all gotta play on Shakur, man. He got fans, man. I'm telling you, he got some fans, okay? And that's not just Newark. He got some fans, all right. So there you go. So
listen. I know Shakur got fans because I got to deal with them on Twitter all the damn time. So he definitely got fans. Now, whether or not his fans actually go to his fights, I don't know. But he definitely got fans.
Hey, it says this white man works 15 minutes from Louis Armstrong. He'll be out there for Mount Katayab out there. Hey, against David Morrell Jr. That's going to be a really, really big fight there in the light heavyweight division. First fight back there for Morrell Jr. after his fight with Benavidez there. So, and they're already in camp over in Houston. So that's going to be something. Shout out to my guy, the topic here in the building. Says like AJ versus Big Bang in a high quit match or loser leaves town match or retirement match. I don't know, man. Like, hey, got to see what happens with Joshua after he, he should have had surgery scheduled for around this time. So, you know what I mean? He said, better get an Ecuadorian or Venezuelan on the card, or you really get queased about it. Hey, I don't know, man. I mean, they got room to, have a few more fights. But listen, they better not do what they did, last year over at Los Angeles. Having about like 8 fights or something like that, and started at like 3:00, local time. No, we can't be doing that. No, because if I'm gonna try to be covering this fight card, I ain't showing up at no 3 p.m. No, that ain't happening. Sorry. Maybe could be 4:30 or 5:00, but it's outdoors. You know what I mean? It's July.
No, hold on. That complex has a retractable roof.
Okay,
So if they need to close the roof, they can close the roof.
All right, hey, listen. If it's like 90-something degrees, it better be closing that roof, dog.
Hey, listen. Let's hope Alice Sheik is smart enough to close the roof.
Oh man, we'll see, man. We'll see. But that's what I have here for the Boxing Source Midweek Report. Shout out to the Boxing Academic. Shout out to Matt from Brunch Boxing. Be sure to catch of course, Brunch Boxing Saturdays. They're on Twitter Spaces or X Spaces or whatever you want to call it. Like I was mentioning earlier, I'll work on getting a full interview there with the WBO president Gustavo Olivieri on either here on this channel or through Rumble, and we'll see what's going to be on slate here coming back. Like I said, I'll be there at the press conference tomorrow. And on Friday, scheduled for Friday, we'll have an interview with Justin Paldo, their lightweight contender. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, Turkey is used to 105 plus. He ain't closing that thing. Nah, man, he better close that motherfucker. He better close that trick now. Yeah. All right. So that's what we have here on slate for the Boxing Source YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button if you like. Go ahead and like this video, and then we'll see. Open to the public. I don't think they said it was, but I have to wait. Hold on. Let me see here before I roll out. Let me see what they said in reference to this, because they moved it. Like I said, they moved it, but I don't know if that is open to the public or not. So I have to see what they said about it. Hold on. Let me see. Updated time, location for the press conference. You didn't see anything as far as like it being open to the public for what I see. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's what I got here. Thanks once again for being part of this midweek report. All right. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.